Namaskar friends. In the previous video, we started to discuss how the souls travel within the universe. In the last video, we also discussed that it is Bhagwan Krishna who places the seed for the birth of all the living beings himself. So as I discussed that the detailed formation of the living beings from cells to lower life forms to higher life forms to humans is not described in any text. But since Bhagwan Krishna says that he places the seed, so from that we can infer that the original life started on our earth with the seeds being brought from another universe to this earth. That's what we can infer. And in support of that, I will quote two verses from Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Mam yonir mahad brahm tasmin garb dadhamyaham sambhava sarvbhutanam tato bhavati bharat. O Bharat, my core from Brahm is the birth canal which gives rise to all the physical matter and all the physical living beings. And in the womb, I place the seed from where all the living beings take birth. You can take word by word translation and not go in for different meanings. Take the word by word translation of this verse. And the very next verse, Bhagwan Krishna confirms Sarv Yonishu Kwante Murtaya Sambhavanti Ya Tasam Brahm Mahadho Niraham Bij Prad Pita. O son of Kunti, in all of the birth canals, all the body forms that take birth, their origin is from Brahm. But I am the father who places the seed. Again, he talks about the seed, the beach. One more thing I would like to point out here that in the second chapter of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan Krishna has clearly said that it is the nature of people to take out different meanings from what I am saying. But people don't take the meaning directly of what I have said. That's what Bhagwan Krishna says. So we must always look for direct meanings, not go in for very deep meanings or some deep philosophies. Take the direct meanings of the verses. So these two verses, they confirm that all the living forms, the seeds of, for example, plants and trees and plants and different kind of vegetations, they were brought from another planet, as also the living beings, they were brought in from another planet to start the process of life on this earth. Now, coming back to the travel of the souls, I will give you certain verses which will give you an idea how the soul travels from life to life, from birth to birth. So, the next verse is again from Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam त्यज्यत्यन्ते कलेवरम तम तमे वेति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भाविता. O son of Kunti, at the time of end of the life of a person, his mind is in whichever state of accordingly the person is born in respective living being form. So at the time of the end of the life, at the time of death, whatever is the state of mind of the person, accordingly the person takes the next birth. Okay, we go further. अभ्यास योग युक्तेन चेतसा नान्य गामिना परमं पुरुषम दिव्यम याति पार्थानुचिंतयन्. O son of Pritha, the person who has practiced and who does not think of others except the divine personality gets the abode of that divine personality. So Bhagwan Krishna is saying that the person who has practiced will come to the details of this when we come to the practices in the spiritual advancement. The person who has practiced what? Practice what? Keeping the mind focused. Who does not think of others except the divine form of God Almighty. He gets the abode of God Almighty. So it is very important that at the time of death, what is the state of mind of the person? We go to the next verse. Kavim Puran Manushasita Ramano Raniyam Samanu Smaridh Sarvasya Dhatar Machitya Maditya Varnam Tamasa Parasat. The person who meditates upon the all pervading, eternal, who rules over all, who is micro of the micro, the smallest of the smallest, who supports and provides food and shelter to all, who is beyond ignorance, who illuminates like the sun or the knowledge, the person who meditates upon such a form, go to the next verse, प्रयाण काले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्त योग बलेन च ध्रुवो मध्य प्राणमावेश्य सम्यक स तम परम पुरुषमुपैति. Such a devotional person at the time of end of life, who with unflinching mind, with the power of yoga, brings the life force to the center of the eyebrows, then leaves the body. He travels to the abode of the divine. We go to next two verses. Sadvarani Sanyamya Manohridin Niruddha मूर्धया धायात्मना प्राणमास्थितो योग धारणाम औमित्येकाक्षरम ब्रह्म व्याहरन् माम नुस्मरन् यः प्रयाति तयुज्जन्ते स याति परमां गतिम्. Controlling all the doors of the senses and withholding the mind in the heart brings the life force to the brain. And established in the yoga, who recites the word of Om and leaves the body, he reaches the divine destination. So, the gist of these verses is that a person who has practiced control of mind and who has practiced yoga, we'll come to the details of all this later. Such a person is in a good position to travel to the abode of God Almighty because of the practices he has been doing all his life. Now let us see what Bhagwan Krishna is saying in this verse. Abram bhavanna loka punaravarti no arjuna mamu petya tu kante punarjamna vidyate. O Arjun, all the universes up to the Brahmlok, that means the Pitralok, Devlok, and then the Brahmlok. The souls who travel up to those, they all come back to earth and are reborn here. But upon reaching me means reaching the Golok, which is above the Brahmlok, rebirth does not take place. That means one who has reached the Golok, he does not take birth again. All other lokas where the souls are traveling, eventually, over a period of time, after their pious deeds have been consumed, they all come back to earth and take birth again. Agni Jyotiraha Shukla Sharmasa Uttarayanam Tat Prayata Gachanti Brahma Brahmvido Jana. Those who are persons of knowledge, who leave the physical body during the Uttarayan 6 months. What is Uttarayan? When the earth is traveling through the northern hemisphere around the sun. During the Shukla Paksh, what is Shukla Paksh? When the moon is in the waning phase. During the daytime, if the soul leaves the body, the person's soul reaches Brahmalo or the universe of Brahma and does not come back. धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णा षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम तत्चांदमसम ज्योतिर्योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते. Those who leave the physical body during the Dakshinayan 6 months, when the earth is traveling through the southern hemisphere around the sun, Krishna Paksh, when the moon is in the waning phase, during the night time, such a person, such a soul comes back and is reborn on this earth. शुक्ल कृष्णे गति हेते जगता शाश्वते मते एकया यना वृत्ति मन्यया वर्तते पुनः. Because from time immemorial, both Shukla and Krishna Gati are the end destinations, and they are existing as part of this great system of existence. In the first, one does not come back, in the other, one does come back. Bhagwan Krishna is confirming what he has said in previous verses. Purusha prakristho hi bhunkate prakriti jan gunan karanam gun sango asya sad sadvo nijanmasu. Situated in the nature, a person consumes the qualities generated by the nature. The association with the qualities becomes the reason for taking rebirth in higher or lower life forms. What are the qualities of the nature? Sattva, Rajas, or Tamas. So every person is dominated by one particular quality. Sattva, Rajas, or Tamas. That is the quality of intelligence. And this association of the qualities of intelligence with the person becomes the reason for taking rebirth in higher life forms or lower life forms. We have already discussed what are higher and lower life forms. यदा सत्त्वे प्रबद्धे तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत् तदोत्मविदां लोकान् मदान् प्रतिपद्यते. If at the time of death the sattva quality is dominant, then the soul travels to the higher pure universes of the seers, of the sages. रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते. When the rajas quality is dominant, leaving the body at that time, the soul is reborn as a human being again. And when the tamas quality is dominant, then the soul travels to the lower life form of insects, plants, birds, animals. Friends, we will continue our discussion in the next lecture.